Mitch McConnell spoke about the TPP trade deal with CNBC, and he shared some thoughts on Elizabeth Warren.
The unions have always been against trade bills. The question is how many Democrats pay attention to them on an issue like this. More of them seem to be paying attention than in the old days. I think part of that is because on most issues the president staked out pretty far to the left. You've got the energy of the Elizabeth Warren faction kind of driving the agenda, pulling Hillary Clinton further to the left, which, by the way, I think is useful for us in the general election next year. The biggest divisions these days are not among Republicans, but among Democrats.
But you mentioned Hillary Clinton. Is it not perfectly obvious to you that whatever she says now, she is for this deal, having promoted it as Secretary of State?
The energy is on the left in the Democratic Party, and I don't know what she really thinks. But she's being pulled in that direction because of her campaign for president.
It's politics.
Well, yeah, I mean, was it politics then or was it politics now? I don't know what she really thinks. All I care about is where she is.
How would you assess the juice that Elizabeth Warren has around this place right now, her ability to rally support against the Trade Promotion Authority in this deal in the Senate, maybe in the House?
We're going to find out here. This debate comes at an interesting time when these divisions on the Democratic side are so obvious. And
what's your assessment of her? Is she a great politician?
I think she's a very effective spokesman for a very far left position.
But you think you can beat her?
We're going to find out here. Yeah, I think we can.
I got news for you, Mitch. The only way you can beat Elizabeth Warren is when it comes to money raising. Because you and your party are corporate whores and sellouts, and you'll get however much money you want because you do sell out that much. And Elizabeth Warren can't raise nearly as much money. But guess what? When it comes to your message versus her message, she wins across the board. And I say that based on opinion polls. We've gone through it before. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but look at where Elizabeth Warren is on the issues and look at where the American people are on the issues. They're, right in line together. What? Maybe one issue, two issues they don't agree on? And those issues I can't even name off the top of my head? I know where they do agree. 80% of the American people, including a majority of Republicans, want to raise the minimum wage. So does Elizabeth Warren. You don't want to do that. Your party doesn't want to do that. Elizabeth Warren wants us out of the stupid, unnecessary wars overseas. The American public agrees with that. Only 17% of the American people still want to be in Afghanistan. They agree with Elizabeth Warren. Over 90% of the American people want to do universal background checks for gun purchases. So does Elizabeth Warren. You and your party not only don't want to do it, you bragged when you defeated it. So you were bragging that you screwed over a majority of your party and NRA members. So this idea of Elizabeth Warren is pulling the Democrats to the left and that's good for us in the upcoming election. You heard what he said about Hillary? He's saying, well, Hillary's going further left because of Elizabeth Warren. That part is true. But then he says, I think that's going to help us in the election. That comment presupposes that the American people don't like what Elizabeth Warren is saying. And they love what Elizabeth Warren is saying. The entire conversation is about the TPP here. That's another example where Elizabeth Warren represents the American people, including conservatives, and Mitch McConnell is only representing multinational corporations. So I don't know where this thought virus came from on the right, that they think like the establishment Republicans think their ideas are popular. Issue for issue, if you go by polling data, you guys are the least popular political group in the country. So, you know what? I shouldn't even be complaining, though. Because, Mitch, go in that direction. Yes. If you think, those crazy left-wing liberals, they can't win elections when they speak like progressives. Okay, then you're right, man. Counter it with really far right-wing talking points. Be anti-abortion, be anti-gay marriage, talk about how we need to eliminate the minimum wage. See how that works in an election. It'd be adorable to watch the crushing defeat of the Republicans, and Mitch McConnell's like, I don't understand what happened. I could have sworn that we were going to win with that message. And then I don't know if you caught it there, but at the beginning, he said, well, the Democrats, they've gotten so extreme nowadays. The Dems are more pro-union now than ever. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Go back and look at the numbers. Go back and look at the percentage of the American population that was unionized back in the 1970s, for example, in 1960s. It was much higher. There's essentially been a war on unions, definitely from Reagan and onward. And so fewer Americans are in unions. And if unions got what they wanted, we would already have an increase in the minimum wage. We would already have paid maternity leave and paternity leave and more vacation time. And we would just have a country that's better for the workers. But we don't have that because, unfortunately, Mitch McConnell has it backwards.